All right, Evan Ginsberg back with another edition of Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Honored to have Oliver Shawn all the way from Europe. 20-hour flight. He'll be joining us a bit later in the show. We also have the genius Lanny, Poffo, pro wrestling legend. But I also want to introduce my co-host, Steve Ludwig, as well as my musical director, Edwin Vasquez. Steve, there's a lot going on tonight. Tell us what's happening.
Well, I'll tell you, Evan. First of all, hey, everybody, and thanks, Evan. We have a big, big launch party tonight, our official launch party for the show. And it's at Red 58 Club on West 58th Street, 158 West 58th Street. There's tons of music acts. Mr. Lanny Poffo is going to be there, Mr. Oliver Shawn. And it's just going to be, from 6 to 10, it's going to be a jubilee. You know, you may want to add a couple things, Evan, but it's a big night.
That's right. We're going to have hip-hop artists, So Soon. We're going to have funk artist, E-Jam, E-Global. We're going to have Angel Rodriguez, who's a performance artist. We're going to have a ton of performers, a ton of celebs. It's going to really be hot. And Edwin, why don't you tell us a little more about it?
Sure, it's going to be great. I mean, it's having Cynthia Sepulveda from Flaco Coquito on board, also helping us with everything has been phenomenal. I mean, it's just a big event. Press, media, red carpet, interviews. I mean, it's a big event tonight. I'm just very excited to be bringing the music to it as well. You know.
And speaking of big events, Steve has a radio show that's debuting next week. Steve?
Thanks, Evan. You know, I also wanted to mention, we're having the whole crew from Madhouse TV there tonight. And Tommy Marr, Tom Mealy. But yeah, thanks. My radio show premieres August 6th. It's called Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture. I'll be speaking with legends from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And, you know, a show like that can't go on the air. And I just want to take a quick minute to thank my sponsors. We have ABC Movers and Shakers, great moving company. Their website is abcmoversshakers.shutterfly.com. And my buddy Tony DeMarco, A&S Comics. I mean, his website is ascomics.com. None of this could happen without the sponsors. And if you want to go to planetludwig.com, that's my website about the show, and you can get all the information you need from there. Thanks, Evan.
And without further ado, it's my honor and privilege to present my dear friend from a legendary, royal pro wrestling family, son of Angelo Poffo, who was a great wrestler and promoter, brother of Randy Savage, the Macho Man. We are honored to have right here on Legends Radio the man who defeated Hulk Hogan in front of 4 million plus on NBC, primetime TV, Lanny the Genius Poffo.
Yes.
And I just found out that Oliver came in all the way from Europe.
That's right.
And I came in from Tampa. I thought I inconvenienced myself more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he did. You know, that's a tough flight.
Oh, yeah. And Lanny, you wrestled last night for ICW and Jack Sabbath. What's it feel like wrestling at this point?
It gave me a personal feeling that I wanted to give refunds to everybody that paid to see me. I say, I apologize. I'm 58 years old. I don't belong in the ring. I'm subject to the laws of gravity. I almost tripped all over myself, you know, and anyway, I probably need a little bit more support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're all athletic supporters.
No, you look good, though, man.
I'm incontinent.
You're in better shape than I am, man.
Yeah.
But Lanny, tell us what you're doing. I know you're doing motivational speaking and all kinds of exciting things at this stage in life.
Well, I've got a website, geniuslannypoffo.com. If you can't spell that, you're probably not a genius.
Yeah.
Okay. I just proved I wasn't a genius just now. I was in the green room eating blackberries. Is that smart to do? Blackberries? And I smile for the camera.
I'm going to move over this.
You know, but they're so good for you. I have a diet of greens, onions, mushrooms, beans, berries, and seeds. Wow. The Joel Furman diet. He's from New Jersey.
Wow.
And I've gone from 272 pounds to 219. Now I don't even weigh myself. I'm so happy and healthy and feeling good. I'm totally vegan and proud of it.
Wow. And you look great for your age.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yes.
Yeah.
And what else should we lie about?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lanny, what was it like? These are such extremes. Yesterday was a relatively small crowd. On NBC, you wrestled in front of 4 million plus, as I've said. What's the difference between wrestling for a small crowd and a large crowd?
Well, if you just take into account that did you ever see the movie Hoosiers?
Sure.
Where
Gene Hackman.
they measured everything and they told these country bumpkins that the dimensions of their basketball court was the same as the one they had back home. And the ring is the same, everything's the same, except if you dwell on the fact that NBC's watching, and then it's going worldwide too. What it is, I hate to say it, I live in the past. Is that wrong? I love to live in the past. And I love being here with you because you have a wrestling then and now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, if you saw me yesterday, I'm more wrestling then.
Okay.
Okay. It was October 31st, 1989. I wrestled Hulk Hogan, and I know some people don't like Hulk Hogan. I love him because he had the power, he had the stroke to wrestle anybody he wanted, and he chose me. And not only that, but I was his nemesis for 4 months. So not only have I appeared in Madison Square Garden about 33 times, I was on one main event. And when you take a jabroni and make him a star, he appreciates it more. Right. So that was my moment. And then ancillary ramifications, about a month and a half later, I'm a guest on the Regis Philbin show.
Wow.
And that was huge.
Yeah,
and I'm so grateful, so happy. And now people go on my website, geniuslannypoffo.com, and thanks to selective amnesia, and thanks to a thing called copyright infringement, all my moments are there on the video.
Right.
So, but I was just talking to another wrestling fan in the green room, and the place is loaded with closet fans.
Oh, yeah.
He said, was that my greatest moment? And I said, actually, no. In my WWF career, which is now WWE, I'm sure you remember because you're a super fan, but when they coronated my brother as the Macho King, I was chosen to write a poem. And by the way, all the poems that I recited were written by me. That I guarantee. The lousy ones, the good ones, all of them. And it was the only time I was in the ring with the Macho Man for the WWF. Behold this humble entourage. Their heads are bowed in reverence at the very slightest whisper of one name, exalting in his splendor, which is altogether fitting of the people and the lands from whence he came. False monarchies are commonplace as kingdoms rise and fall, but I, the genius full of glory and renown, say the Macho Man is everything that everybody everywhere would ever want to wear a crown. I say this king deserves a queen beside him on this throne, and Sherry is the fairest in the land. Nobody else is worthy of this monumental honor and the regal splendor of his royal hand. We witness the dethroning of one Jim the Hacksaw Duggan, whose crown and robe are in a state of ravage. I now remove my mortarboard and place it near my heart, and thus proclaim you Macho King Randy Savage.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
And my brother passed away 2 years and 2 months ago, and I can say I'm trying not to get emotional here, but if anybody ever remembers my name, it'll be because of his, and I proudly wear his shirt.
Wow. There you go. There you go.
Beautiful.
And we were talking about some of the all-time greats in pro wrestling, and your brother's name always comes up, and we were talking about Harley Race and Ray Stevens and Ivan Koloff and Killer Kowalski. Who are some of the people you rate among the all-time best?
Johnny Valentine,
Oh, yeah.
Greg's father, okay, and Pat O'Connor, Luthez, Buddy Rogers,
Oh, yeah.
and Macho Man Randy Savage, dare I say, the best of them all.
Really? And taking that impartially, why would you say that?
Because he understood what it took for a fan to reach into his pocket and buy a ticket. You're a musician.
Absolutely, man.
If somebody pays $20 to see you, don't they deserve a $40 show?
Yes. Yes, they do.
And he thought of it that way too. He said, if they pay $20 and you give them a $10 show, you're a pickpocket.
Cool.
You've cheated them. You give them everything you have, and I'm talking about
Totally, man.
one for one.
Totally.
His outfits. He invested in his outfits. And he made sure that the pizzazz factor from going, he said the match didn't start at the sound of the bell. It started at the dressing room door when you walked to the ring. He made it a pageant. And every time you didn't know what he was going to wear or what Elizabeth was going to wear. But don't think for 1 minute that he didn't put hours and hours of thought into just that very thing, going from the door to the ring. That's showmanship. That's Liberace. That's it's the little extra something that makes you great. And then when the bell rang, you were looking at an athlete that played 4 years of minor league baseball. And instead of letting his life fall apart, he said, there's going to be a way that I can get to the top of the wrestling world. And then he went from one extreme to the other. From the time he was finally fired by the Chicago White Sox, it took him 10 years to get to Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
And I think he proved his point.
Absolutely. To this day, and I'm not saying this because you're sitting here, his match with Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania, I think that was the greatest WrestleMania match ever and one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
Well, I disagree with you. I don't think it was the greatest match ever. I know that it was.
There you go. There you go. Unbelievable.
And if you look at referee Davey Hebner, he was also a part of that match. Also great ring announcing. That was, I think, Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body Ventura. Everything, the best lights. You know, Vince McMahon, some people don't like him, but I can guarantee you that more people die from jealousy than heart attacks and cancer combined.
Wow.
And in 1985, when I first arrived on the scene, I said, wow, look at this lighting grid. And you know what? He got the best lighting people and he overpaid them. He made sure that everybody that worked for him got overpaid so that they wanted to do their best. He hired the best and he motivated the best and he had high standards. And his standards never, let's put it this way, you've heard of the expression state of the art?
Sure.
He was above the curve in that. He wanted to know what's next, what's new, what's bigger, better. And it was an honor for me to get to know him and to work for him. Like I say, some people don't like him. But if everybody liked you, we'd all live at your house.
Hey, wait a minute.
Steve, I know you have a question for Lanny.
Well, you know, I in my other life, I'm a teacher. And I'm really curious, how did you come into the poetry? Did you always love poetry in school, or how did that come about? I mean, your poems are tremendous.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But I had a 5th grade teacher named Pat Rufinot. She is now Mrs. Mokel, and we're still friends, and I'm friends with her children and her grandchildren, and she was a beautiful woman inside and out. I was in love with her. I was 9 years old. She says, Mr. Poffo, 3rd day of school, says, I need to see you at 3:20. That's when class got out. So I said, what did I do? And she says, Lanny, that paper you wrote, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, and tell me a little bit about yourself, they were just wonderful. I think you could be a writer. And
that was your inspiration.
Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. You know, if this is my way to praise. So that got me on track, you know, somebody discovering me. And then I was also lucky to be on TNT, and I was deathly afraid that I'd be boring and never be invited back because I didn't have the genius gimmick to fall back on. And, you know, baby faces are boring. They sell, they come back, what's the deal? And I wanted to be different, so I did a poem on TNT, and then they went to black, which is a show business term for the commercial. And Vince McMahon says, Lanny, that was fantastic. From now on, you do a poem before every match. And I went, yes! But I didn't. Right. But I stayed cool. Okay,
right.
inside. Because a wrestler without a gimmick is just a wrestler. And who wants to be just a wrestler?
You know, Evan, I remember seeing Lanny at Gizzy's. And Lanny, you have a great knack for, if someone in the audience just shouts out a subject, you have a poem for it. It's incredible.
Right, and I have selective deafness. That way, if there's 30 people, that's how I said, okay, that's a good one. That's
That's the trick. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Lanny, we have to unfortunately fade to black and go to commercial. So please tell listeners how they can keep in touch with you.
GeniusLannyPoffo.com. That's GeniusLannyPoffo.com. And there's a tremendous tribute to my brother, and right in front of Niagara Falls. Do we have 30 seconds for that?
Sure, hit it.
I stand before Niagara Falls and think about my brother who seized each carpe diem day with passion like no other. His name was Randy Poffo. He became the macho man. Randy Savage made it cool to be a wrestling fan. He set a good example before he said goodbye, and I will try to honor him until these falls go dry.
Wow.
Really beautiful.
The genius Lanny Poffo, tribute to his wonderful brother, one of my all-time favorites. Thank you so much, Lanny. We're going to be right back with the great Oliver Shawn. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Hi, I'm Steve Ludwig. When I was 52 years old, I had quintuple open-heart bypass surgery, and I wrote a book about it. It's called See You in CCU. Apart from having my rib cage sawed apart, I experienced temporary loss of memory, depression, and sleepless nights in unbearable pain. A lot of people might think there's nothing funny about that, but I think it all depends on how you look at it. See you in CCU.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy from the Harrison Law Group. You know, soft tissue injury, that's no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. Don't waste valuable time going to firms who don't get it and can't do it. Call 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
All right, Evan Ginsberg back with Legends TV, and we are honored to have all the way from Europe, the great Oliver Shawn. How are you today, Oliver?
Hey, Evan. Great to be here.
All right. There you go. And Oliver, what's it like to take a 20-hour flight?
You can see it, right? I'm still jet lagged. Come on, I've had this terrible headache,
Okay.
but I'm okay now. I'm on the show, so
there you go.
nothing
There you
better.
go. And you're an award-winning artist. You've played literally all corners of the globe. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I've been a musician all my life. You know, I own a record label as well, but yeah, it's just been a whirlwind of just going out there and believing in yourself and just doing it. You know, and they say you can't really make it without having a big label behind you, but it's not true. You can do it.
and what's it like being an artist and the boss, owning the label? That must be tough to juggle.
It is kind of, yeah. But I kind of stay out of dealing directly with other artists. I'd rather go and jam with them and do shows with them and be one of the artists when we have the concerts and the festivals. But I don't kind of get involved directly because it just, you know, when you're an artist as well, rather not get into their space.
Right, right. And what is it like to, you're huge in Europe and you're trying to make a bigger name for yourself here in the States.
Yeah.
What's involved?
I'm actually bigger in Asia. You know,
Okay.
I have quite a fan following in India, in Dubai, in the Middle East, and Europe now with the MTV Europe Music Award. That was a big push for me. But America is the land of
Tough
opportunity.
market.
It's a tough market, but it's been the place that I've always wanted to make a mark with my music. And the good thing is it's all happening really well. People are accepting my music. and I'm a member of the Grammy Awards voting panel.
Wow.
So all that kind of gets me in touch with great artists, and now I'm in touch with Edwin. So
That's right.
it's gonna
Edwin,
be,
My privilege.
you know,
Edwin
I'm really
did it.
hoping to work with him very soon.
I look forward
and
to
we're going to see that tonight. We're going to see that today, right here on the
Yeah.
show. And Edwin was on the Cape Man CD with Paul Simon and Mark Anthony, which is pretty impressive, also.
Yeah.
Another
it's,
favorite singer of
Quite
mine,
exciting.
Mark
yeah.
Anthony.
Oh, yeah,
I love
he's
his singing.
fantastic.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So why don't we do something a little different? Edwin, what questions would you like to ask of Oliver,
All right,
mutual
let's
artist?
do that.
Well, you know, we took a ride here from Williamsburg, and we actually got to chat a lot. He's first of all, really cool dude. I like that he's down to earth and he's real, and as a songwriter, that's the place you got to hit, the heart, right? You
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely.
I mean, I would say, what would you tell? Because this is also a part of the stage as an altar. You know, this project we're here, this beautiful project.
Yeah.
What would you tell artists today? You know, young, old, as far as believing in the dream and what the dream consists of.
Okay, it's a good question.
Yeah.
The one thing the thing is, I've met a lot of artists now because of my record label.
Okay.
A lot of artists, and when you meet someone who's got a similar soul, like you know, like we guys, you
Yes,
connected
yes.
immediately, and
Yes,
I'm
that's
like,
true.
hell, I could do a tour with the guy, you know, and I'd be fine. I'd have a great time.
Yeah.
But then you meet some guys who are in it,
Mm-hmm.
not for the music at all.
I hear you.
You know, they could be great musicians,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't consider them musicians because they're not doing it for the love of music.
I
It's,
hear
it's
you,
a
man.
completely different thing. They're trying to get something out of somebody,
Mm.
and that's not what you do music for. You do it
I hear
for
you, man.
your songs, your music, whatever it is that you're doing it for, but not to take something from someone else. That messes it up completely.
And speaking of great music, why don't we go to Oliver's video, So Good? Check this out. It's hot.
Thank you.
I'm turning 30 next week. I wish I could turn back time. Undo all the wrong and the hurt that I've caused everyone. And I've done some good too, you know, but maybe it wasn't good enough. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, that ain't what it's all about. 'Cause I've been waiting for you. The way you live, or what you do. But I know when I see you, hey, it's gonna be good. So good, so good, so good. Times I remember, I wish I'd done things differently. But now I've learned it's never too late just to say you're sorry. And I know it's hard to forgive, and sometimes you just can't. But I've been told when you fall in love, things get so easy. 'Cause I've been waiting for you. The way you live, what you do. But I know when I see you, hey, it's gonna be good. So good, so good, so good. I wish I'd turn back time. All in your hand. 'Cause I've been waiting till love come my way. I've been waiting for you. I don't know where you live or what you do, but I know when I see you, hey, it's gonna be good. So good, so good, so good. 'Cause I've been waiting for you. you do. But I know when I see you, hey, it's gonna be good. So good, so good, so good. 'Cause I've been waiting for you. Woo! The way you live, what you do. Hey, come on. 'Cause I know when I see you, oh, it's gonna be good. So good, so good, so good.
All right, we're back with the great Oliver Shawn,
Hey.
and that was
great.
hot. That was
Thank
hot.
you.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Thank you very much. Just so you know, I shot that video.
Wow. All right. Renaissance man. He does it all. He does it all. And I know my co-host Steve Ludwig has a question for Oliver.
Yeah, I have many, but you know,
All right,
Oliver, I went on your website, olivershawn.com. I read this great quote. I wrote it down so I would say it correctly. You said, "I attribute my music to my growing years."
Yes.
Could you elaborate on that?
You know, sometimes they say what you go through in life, you know, all the troubles and whatever that you go through, it actually makes you a better person. It makes you a stronger person. And I think it made me a better musician, you know, because my mom is a single mother, so most of my songs are dedicated to my mother and to women, actually, because I have great respect for women. So what we went through since I was 6 years old, the troubles and the hardships and everything, and I think that made me who I am today. I'm always grounded, which is so important, you know. And yeah, so I attribute my success to my growing years. I wouldn't do anything different, even though we went through a lot of shit in life. Sorry, I don't know if you can say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, but come to think, the point I've reached today, it's a plan. It's God's plan.
All right.
You know, you said you went through a lot of hard times. Do you find you get better inspiration from the bad times or the good times?
I use the bad times to make my good times better, you know. So I don't dwell on the bad times, because if I do that, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I just use that to be better, or to show them, okay, you know, the more you put us down, or the more you belittle us, or whatever, the bigger I'm going to get, because God wants me to do that. You know, that's the support I'm getting, because that's the good thing. You know. So
and now, your album's so good.
Yeah.
Got 9.
Yeah, it was
nomination considerations.
Yes.
I mean,
that was
a silly question, but what was that like?
That was crazy. I mean, when that happened, we were just jumping with joy.
Yeah.
And, it was just the most amazing day. That was the most amazing day, really, when I got that news, and I had that, you know, the consideration, the nomination papers, and it's Oliver Shawn, right? So it's with an S, and there are 2 other names there that I'm looking at, and I can't believe I'm on the same paper, listed officially, and those names were Sting and Seal.
Wow.
You know, and I was like, oh my goodness me, those are the guys I grew up listening to, and you know, so.
Yeah. But you earned it. You belong there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And Oliver, you have a big tour coming up. Tell us a little about that.
Big tour coming up. My new single, which I'm going to premiere on Evan's show today. I actually arranged this tour, the pre-tour now, because of Evan's TV show.
Well, I'm flattered.
Because I wanted to come here and do this first, you know. And so this is the new song called "Are We Doing That?" And the tour is going to continue from here. I'm going to go to Toronto. I'm going to come back to the States, to Chicago, at the Hard Rock Cafe. And then from there, I'm off to London for a very big show at my favorite venue called the Troubadour, where Bob Dylan and Jimi Hendrix played.
Wow.
So I'm going to do that. And I'm doing Cafe Y in New York in a couple of days on the 31st. And I really hope all of you guys are going to be there. Edwin's coming for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, I'm there.
There you go.
He's going to come on stage and jam with me too. So, so Cafe Y, Toronto at Smiling Buddha, Hard Rock Cafe, and then the London. And then I'm back to the States once the album comes out, which is, I'll be doing that album, which is going to be out soon.
That's awesome. And we're going to hear I Like It, and then we're going to go to a commercial, and we come back, Oliver Sean live, right here at Legend.
Before we go, I just want to, I'm writing a song, and it's called New York.
All right.
Because when I came last year, I fell in love with New York, you know. And so we're writing this song. I've just started working on it, and I want to collaborate with a lot of New York artists on this one. So I'm really hoping to sit with Edwin and Cooley High, who was on your other show, and kind of work on a couple of things for that.
We've got so much in common. I'm writing an Anthony Weiner song.
I'm almost afraid to ask the title.
Title?
So
you should be afraid, really afraid.
Well, let's hear the video I Like It, folks, and then we'll be back with Oliver Sean live. All right. Don't go anywhere.
Everybody's staring at us. I kinda like it, the way you turn around and kiss me in public. I kinda like it when you wear that bikini.
Like so many people, are your finances tight lately? Afraid to open your mail or even answer your phone? Well, take heart. You don't have to live like that. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you can join the thousands of folks who have used safe and effective government-insured reverse mortgages. The government-insured reverse mortgages from Long Island's Senior Reverse Network allow you to stay in your home and turn equity into tax-free cash. Our government-insured reverse mortgages can eliminate mortgage payments, credit card balances, or just improve your lifestyle. Do yourself a favor and solve these problems now. Call the Senior Reverse Network, and our advisors will answer all of your questions about our reverse mortgage programs. We've helped scores of senior Long Island homeowners like you who now enjoy a worry-free retirement. Get the financial security and peace of mind you've dreamed about. Pick up the phone and call us at the Senior Reverse Network now to set up a free consultation.
Call 1-800-985-REVERSE. That's 1-800-985-7383.
Dad, where do babies come from?
Well, there's Dad's big, shiny rocket ship. That's right, it's filled with babies of all kinds. And when the shiny rocket ship penetrates, Mommy and Dad goes, and when the time is just right, there's a space launch.
All systems go.
Babies of all kinds, released all over the place. Yeah, Africa. Mommy's Babylandia. That's right, it's filled with babies. After an amazing 9 months, babies. And that, son, is where babies come from.
But Jake said babies come from
Planet Babylandia.
Play with us on the bus.
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. Wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town.
Eva, one of our 4 million owners, has her cat insured with Folksam. This one is for you.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly.
Visit folksam.se and tell us what makes your heart beat faster.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy from the Harrison Law Group. You know, soft tissue injury, that's no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. Don't waste valuable time going to firms who don't get it and can't do it. Call 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
All right. Debuting his new single. We are honored to have him here on Legend TV, the great Oliver Shawn.
See the people on the sofa clapping their hands to this one. Yeah. Well, I don't want to hurt you, but I just can't help myself from doing that. And I don't want to make you cry, but I just can't help myself from doing that. You know life can be good, but that's a little secret. A little secret. Time, love, a little tenderness. Tell me, I'll be doing that. Time, love, little happiness. Yeah, I'll be doing that. You can lend a helping hand. Don't you turn around, walk away. Oh yes, I'll be doing that. You can make somebody stay with just a smile. Tell me, are you doing that? You know life can be good, but that's a little secret. A little secret. Time, love, a little tenderness. Tell me, are we doing that? Time, love, little happiness, yeah. I'll be doing that. All right, now's the time to clap. Come on, people. Woo! I can hear it. You watching on home. Come on. Time, love, little tenderness, yeah. I'll be doing that. Time, love, little happiness, yeah. Tell me, I'll be doing that. Time, love, little tenderness, yeah. I'll be doing that. Time, love, little happiness, yeah. I'll be doing that. Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to invite Edwin Vasquez and his fantastic band to jam with me now. While the guys set up, I'm going to start the song, and then they're going to join me. One of my favorite songs, dedicated to Lenny, Poffo, to Steve, and to Evan, and the awesome Toms in the house. Mama, take this badge from me. I can use it anymore. It's getting dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. You can sing along, you know. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We're knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We're knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We're knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, take these guns away from me. I can shoot them anymore. circle of clouds following me. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. But knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We're knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We're gonna go higher. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We're knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We're gonna do one more song now with the awesome band with me. This is called La Bamba. Necesito una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia, vanibate, ahí arriba y arriba, ahí arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, bamba. Necesito una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia, vanidad, ahí arriba y arriba. Necesito una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia, manivate, ahí arriba y arriba, ahí arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, bamba, everybody, come on. Bamba, bamba, woo, you at home. Bamba, bamba, one more. Bamba, bamba. Bamba, la bamba. Woo! Thank you very much. All right, and Evan, the guy's gonna take over now.
Fantastic, beautiful.
Thank you, man.
Oliver Shawn, baby. Oliver Shawn.
Woo!
Woo, yeah, this is live, baby.
It's not Memorex.
Yeah. Total privilege, man, to share the stage with such an incredible talent. Let me lower my reverb here. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Oliver, for sharing your love for the music.
that you're nothing like the wind passing by. Now the skies like a lie, like a lie, you're lying. Man, I want to share the stage with Oliver. Let's jam on something and we'll just do whatever we feel, man. Create on the spot. The stage is an altar. Two kindred spirits, 5 kindred spirits coming together and letting the spirit lead them. Unless you have a song in mind. Oh, I love that song. You just follow with the G. Distortion, no distortion. For the chorus. Just freak out the percussions and everything.
All right, this is my first song ever. But not my first song ever, but the first song that became a hit. That became a hit in 2003, I think. And this album got nominated for Album of the Year with Robbie Williams, John Mayer, and Kylie Minogue. I don't know how, but it happened. It happened, and that kind of gave me the boost to move ahead and do everything, you know. So my first song, which I recorded in my bedroom, goes like this. I think my guitar is off. Everybody's staring at us. I kinda like it, the way you turn around and kiss me in public. I kinda like it when you wear that bikini on the beach. I like it. When you touch me, I like it. When we make love, yes, I like it. Well, I like it. When you whisper to me, I kinda like it. Sweeten the things you say with your eyes. I kinda like it when you touch me, baby. From here on, can you sing with me? I like it, yeah. When you kiss me. I like it when you touch me. I like it when we make love. Yes, I like it.
Well, I like it. Percussion. Now everybody's talking about us. I kinda like it. The way you hold me so tight on the motorbike. I kinda like it. Okay, you gotta listen to this one. And when you take your clothes off, when we're all alone. What you gonna say now? I like it. When you kiss me, I like it. When you touch me, I like it. When we make love, yes, I like it. Well, I like it. When you kiss me, I like it. When you touch me, I like it. When we make love, yes, I like it. Well, I like it. I hope you like it. Thank you very much. Madhouse TV and Legends TV and Evan Ginsberg.